Hey everybody, welcome back to Will's Toy Room. And we did it. 100 subscribers. Thank you so much. So much for all of you who have been subbing, leaving comments, leaving likes. I can't express enough in words just how happy I am to reach this milestone. And to show my appreciation, we're going to do something very special. We're going to do a room tour of Will's Toy Room. So get ready, come on in, we're gonna have some fun. We're gonna start our journey, opening it on up. It's a beautiful day, and here's just a quick sweep. One second, I'm gonna shut the door here because I have tried to maximize all the space I could in here. And just here's a quick full sweep for the most part of the toy room, and I'm gonna try to focus on individual sections. Like I count every shelving whatever as its own section, so let's just jump into it. Let's start out with the number one. Alright, first up we have, I guess, one of my favorite franchises is Alien. So we have this shelf down here, and this shelf up here is strictly all Alien. So with all these, I'm just going to kind of go through it kind of quickly, pointing out one or two things for each section. And if there's something you want me to talk about a little bit more, please comment down below. Now actually, I remember when these ones, I have a couple of the glow-in-the-dark ones, but when the reaction figures, because this was like the first line that they ever did, that Super 7 did for a reaction, was getting the old molds for the Alien figures, and it just took off, still to this day. I want to get ahead of ourselves now. Got a couple of Mad magazines, but of course this one's Alien, so this one gets to go in the Alien, whatchamacallit, the shrine. There you go. Really awesome. Let me see if I can just pop it open really quick though. I knew something was gonna fall. But just the Aliens Micro Machine playset. That's what you get when you have a toy room. Sometimes things just fall, but not you, because you're a champ. Down below, one of the crown jewels to my Alien or Kenner collection is the 1979 Kenner Big Chap. Only thing he's missing is his dome, and he has some damage to one of his hands, but other than that, he's just fine. And for the price I paid for him, I am more than happy. Years and years ago, I bought that figure. Got the muscle figures, a lot more of the Kenner. Up here I had some of the Kenner Aliens figures, but down here is where all my army built Scorpion Aliens are. Then just all the fun stuff like that carded Queen face hugger. And this is not, obviously, if anyone really knows anything about toys, this is not Ripley, but this is one of the Adventure People, the Fisher-Price Adventure People. But I thought she looked enough like Ripley to pair her along with her, so, why not? Top 10 most disappointing Kenner figures right there, the Aliens Bishop. And lastly, on the number one section, below Alien, is Terminator and Predator. Two other franchises, Stan Winston created. I love them a lot. And all up in here is essentially, I kind of figured this out, I essentially have the whole Kenner Terminator 2 line with a few extras like these two in the back, which were part of like the expanded lore of Terminator, you know, before T3 and Salvation and, you know, Genesis and whatever. We got the Toy Island Terminator endoskeletons, the Bioflesh Regenerator for the playset of the same name. Such a cool thing right there. And then a gun from T2 3D, pretty rare piece. And beautiful 3D printed, hand painted by me, endoskeleton skull done by my brother-in-law. I forget your handle, good sir, but when I remember it, I'll put it right here, right there. And lastly, 2 customs done by me as well. A Playmobil that I spray painted full silver to make it a T1000. And then just Police Army Man figure that I half painted silver to also give out that T1000-esque. Do one more quick pan up and that'll do it for section 1. Now for section 2, starting up here, we got a bunch of the 12-inch 90s Star Wars figures and Clone Wars figures, you know, Jango Fett back there and Clone Trooper up here. Just kind of a knick-knack kind of section where a bunch of random things I like kind of joined together, like Monster in My Pocket, you know, Playmobil, Pokemon. I really like this Jack in the Box figure. We have a Stanley Cup from Kenner's starting lineup. Got some Trek, Scooby-Doo. Below it, we got some G.I. Joe and my Kenner $6 Million Man figures. Again, sort of knick-knacky pieces kind of go up here, like Micronauts and more starting lineup. Like, who is this? Is this? Okay, that's Joe DiMaggio from the starting lineup. Toy Island RoboCop, Scooby. Fun stuff like that, you know. Just, when I first set up the toy room, I think this shelf was just all big figs, like 12 inch and up. But as time, you know, no, toy rooms are always changing, constantly changing and evolving. Anyone who has a toy room knows this. This shelf, just dedicated to Treasure X. I have a few other Treasure X figures, but these are the ones like, you know, the gold ones, the glow-in-the-dark ones. Most of the other ones over here are glow-in-the-dark. You know, like the big monster ones. And then like these 3 are the 3 ultra rares from the Sunken Treasure theme, as I have an unopened example. Not too crazy about their last line, but I mean, I do like the giant robot. Of course, you know, you saw my review of that one. But, and maybe at another milestone, I'll probably take another more individual look at all the Treasure X. But for now, that will have to suffice. A lot of masks on this one. Just like a little bit of Captain Power. Little bit of, I mean, got a couple Funkos. Fun fact, this was the first Funko Pop I ever bought. So cool, so many memories. But look at the mask figures and stuff. Not a whole lot going on. This used to be just mask, but I changed it just a little bit. And then lastly, on this shelf is all my drinks. Every single one of the drinks on this shelf is full unopened. And some of these, like, I mean, you know, it's got kind of a, you know, going away from the toy aspect, but like, just some of these are like really super hard to find now, like especially like the full Coke 2 and the glass bottle Coke 2 to, you know, just, and these I just remember being out and these being really cool when they decided to do the metal bottle things for Sprite and Coke. These were pretty popular when they came out, to the Capri Sun Pokemon. Behind that is my, you know, unopened 2-liter Crystal Pepsi bottle for some reason. I mean, hey, I love Coke. And I also love Diet Crystal Pepsi. One more pan of this. Oh, spoiled. And that'll do it for section 2. And for section 3, just a few cool, you know, like, now we have started the start of controlled little areas of little nooks, as I call them. Like we have the Simpsons nook back here with the unopened Pop-Tarts and whatnot. I just like this Hello Kitty back there, this Halloween skeleton costume Hello Kitty. Super cute. Pieces I'd wanted for a while and finally got around to getting them, which I mentioned in another video, but here's a better look at them. The Remco Karate Kid figures. We have my Trapjaw shrine right here of just from vintage to classics to revelations to 20X, Mega Constructs to reaction, just any and all Trapjaw. Of course, got him running the land shark. Then below that we have what I like to call the mid-fig section. Just, you know, not 3 3/4 inch, not 12 inch. Some of my favorites in this one, like we got Ghostface, Patrick Bateman, Sean Connery, James Bond, Snake Plissken from Escape from LA, John McClane, and of course all my troopers, all the Black Series. There's just some more back there. And of course one of my favorite Joes, Barbecue, favorite Joe, Major Blood. And below that we have a couple more Trapjaws in the Hot Wheels Masters of the Universe vehicles, as well as a Mega Block Scarecrow, Scareglow I should say. And we have the Cheese Wedge, the infamous Star Destroyer playset, decked out with, I got bounty hunters, just a bunch of random Imperials, fun stuff. I don't think I have anyone funny in here. No, I used to have someone funny in there, but I took him out. Death Star playset, again fully decked out with just a whole bunch of Imperials, from the last 17 Imperial Gunner to, like, I don't know, one of my first reviews, the Obi-Wan Darth Vader. One of my favorite glow-in-the-dark figures. Right back here, the Emperor's Wrath Darth Vader with the glow-in-the-dark skull. Love it to pieces. I do have someone funny over here. I don't know if you can see, but in the back there, that's supposed to be Captain Kirk. And Hologram Vader is looking at him like, you lost, bro? And he's looking back at him like, no. What about you? Then below here, we have my army of Trendmaster Cylons with Stealth Cylon and Cylon Commander up there, along with Funko Pop Cylon. I guess I like Cylons a lot too. Original film cell for Battlestar Galactica. A couple Ghost Riders, Mayor McCheese. Just a lot of, not a crazy amount of stuff going on here, but still, you know. And then I guess we'll count this as part of section 3. Sorry about that sun. Like I said, it's a beautiful day. I should be outside right now. But this drawer, just full of random video game stuff, controllers, Game Boy extra cases. This one is full of my Nintendo games that still in their boxes, but aren't a part of any sort of specific Nook or franchise. Like, I don't know, Alien 3 for Nintendo is up there. You'll see Back to the Future for Nintendo, and Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street, so on and so forth. Random technology stuff in there. Good. Well, that's the time of recording right now, thanks to Lloyd. Kenner anyway. My Kenner Vader TIE Fighter box, all the way up to, oh, it's for you. And just all that good stuff. So, one pan of this. And there you go. Now here we got everyone's favorite. We got Star Wars Land featuring Indiana Jones, but we'll get there. On this shelf, we got a lot of Hoth stuff going on, as well as just a few little things in there. Another unopened soda from the collection, a Japanese Pepsi Lemon Twist. Rancor holding Luke, Jedi Knight Luke. Pretty solid figure. I like that. I like that Kenner figure a lot. The Gunner's coin right there. We got the big Star Wars figure, the vintage Kenner Star Wars figures. We got all 3 of my troopers, ever growing. Got Leia's down there, a couple Leia's. We got Indiana Jones. The Indiana Jones Nook inside Star Wars Land. And the new Lego set they just put out. We got Spielberg filming it, of course. Kenner Indy, more Kenner Indiana Jones. One of my favorite unopened sodas in my collection, my Kingdom of the Crystal Skull Dr. Pepper. Indiana Jones and the Infernal Machine for N64 back there. Pretty rare game. Really happy to have that in my collection. And down below, we got some Tatooine stuff going on. We got Land of the Jawas playset decked out with sand people, Jawas, stormtroopers, and Elixir droids. The cantina itself with, wait, you're not from Star Wars. We got a Micronaut tending bar there with some Treasure X hot dogs and sodas. I think, yeah, this was the first Kenner Star Wars playset I ever got, was Land of the Jawas. And then, I can't remember the order that I got the cantina in, but, you know, after you collect for so long, everything blurs. Dagobah playset with original foam, actual factual original foam. Such a random Vader figure to make. Specifically off of the one part in Empire where Luke cuts off Vader's head during that Force-induced dream, seeing that if he continues he'll end up just like Vader. But they sculpted a figure of him. And I got it. Because why not? Hoth battle scene going on between Imperials and Rebels and Wampas and stuff of the like. And down here, we have a hustling, bustling Mos Eisley, full of a bunch of random individuals mixing with Star Wars, like Han Solo going in there, a couple Jawas, Playmobil knockoff R2-D2. I really like this Frankenstein monster figure. I have like 3 or 4 of them in my collection. I just really like him. Some Legos. The Imperial Troop Transport being driven by a couple of Death Squad commanders. And one of many glow-in-the-dark things in my room, which I should have mentioned that earlier, that I love glow-in-the-dark, which I have black lights hooked up. I got a lot of day glow and black light. It just looks crazy in this room. And one final pan of this, and I mean, I guess we could talk about this since this is kind of connected to what would this be, section 4? Yeah, 1, 2, 3, yeah, section 4. Just kind of my G.I. Joe bin. You can see I got some spare other figures, vehicles that aren't on display. Bagged 90s, like Wolverine right in front there. All my, again, 90s figures, but aren't on display. Bagged 80s. You can see Clubber right on top, and Brainiac, you know. Red Tornado down there. I think that was Red Tornado. What was that? Red Twister? When I remember his name, you know. Ghostface will tell you who that Kenner figure is. I get those two mixed up. Loose 90s figures in medium, bigger, and big, as well as my battle damaged, working Kenner X-Wing. And for the most part, since I do have blacklight hooked up, all the figures usually in the front of these bins all have some sort of glow-in-the-dark feature to them. For the most part. And then we got the 70s, loose 70s. Look at all my troopers. Just look at them all. And a couple Micronauts. And bigger 70s, mostly Mego. Yeah, mostly the not displayed Mego figures. Then in here we have like, this one really doesn't like coming open. These are all my minifigures that are part of different blind bag themes. Like I have all these ones up these Lego stairs, that's starting out with my second to oldest one, the gray alien, and all the way up to the most current one that'll fit on these Lego stairs. And then just a few other Kenner pieces, alien parts, poly bag for Lego, like Plastic Man. Paperwork and pieces and stuff for like Mask and Star Wars and G.I. Joe and He-Man and Simpsons and stuff, Star Trek. Okay. There's the last game. Alright, trucking right along. Up here we got mostly Back to the Future. Playmobil, Funkos, more Playmobil. That not Micro Machines, but I mean, I think they did do Micro Machines for Back to the Future, at least the DeLorean and stuff. But I don't think this set was Galoob or anything. Also, some other time travelers, Bill and Ted. One of my probably all-time favorite Kenner lines is the Bill and Ted line. Jackson, little Michael Jackson Nook, got him Pepsi, very appropriate. And here's one of the games that's inside one of the Nooks, but is not inside the previously mentioned purple bin, along with Alien 3 and stuff like that. Then come down here, we got a little bit of He-Man, Tower from Dark Tower, LJN, D&D is Willow, and probably one of the cooler Monster in My Pocket figures. Centurions, Visionaries, Food Fighters, Captain Power. of my another favorite Kenner item, the Kenner's Ed 209. Really spectacular. And I guess another noteworthy thing is the Rocketeer Nook. Very cool. Down here we got, see, and again, this one up here, it has like themes like He-Man and like Rocketeer and stuff like that, but a few other just random mishmash things. This one is also kind of mishmash. A couple of the Halo Mega Bloks figures, and then like Rambo and Supernaturals and stuff like that. One of my top 10 favorite figures, Gripper. And a few things is kind of in the back. They're kind of hard to see. Also, one of my black lights back there because there's a lot of glow reactive stuff up here. Then one of the smaller Lego sections, just a few Lego vehicles, Star Wars mostly, but like Lone Rangers, stuff like that. A couple Funkos in the back, and a lot of the, I like the Jada vehicles, like Optimus, Jurassic Park, Back to the Future. There's a Kit from Knight Rider, Mystery Machine, Hopper's van, and you can see Car behind the TIE Fighter. One of the Lego Studios Monsters things. I think you fold this down like to be a crypt with a glow-in-the-dark skull. A couple more Legos. Again, Lego Star Wars, a lot of Lego Star Wars, as well as some Lego Batman. Unopened Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, Frosted Flakes. Hey, oh, excuse me. Who remembers these glow spoons? These really sick glow spoons that you also got in the Star Wars ones. Speaking of Star Wars, the famous, the infamous, unopened Cooler Ranch Doritos bag, as autographed by Hayden Christensen. That was such a fun time. Alright, do a pan up. I can see everything again. And we'll keep on moving on. We got more and more Lego goodness for you. And again, if there's anything you're curious as to look at closer, please drop it down in the comments. But up here we have a couple Lego helmets. I love these Lego helmets for the Stormtrooper and the Scout Trooper. My own additions of adding in a minifigure for both of them. Just a few Lego vehicles, Yellow Submarine, the old Lego UFO, Batman, Monster Hunters, Monster Fighters, Fright Nights. Really recent acquisition of getting Basil Batlord and pairing him up with my black dragon, my black Lego dragon. So that's cool to finally have him. Below that, more vehicles. And if you see like any of the Batman stuff, the original 2008 Batman stuff, all that is from my childhood. I originally owned, I mean, you can tell by the absolute mint, just mint stickers on these Lego sets. Two-Face's armored truck with a stellar Two-Face minifigure and a somewhat stellar goon. I mean, because the Joker goon and the Mr. Freeze goon are pretty generic, but the Two-Face goon actually has an exclusive torso print, so that's what he has going for him. And the back is the original box to one of my original Lego Indiana Jones sets, which I need to put back together. I need to find the pieces to that motorcycle to have with all the vehicles. Lego Ideas Tron set, Lego Expedition, Batman again, Mystery Machine, Ghostbusters, Back to the Future, original Spider-Man 2 set, the box, you probably saw it by the Hayden Christensen Doritos and the Frosted Flakes, but here's the box to that set. These ones are pretty strictly both Lego, and then down here a little bit more mishmash stuff. Got a shark and a bottle with aqua sharks on top of it. My Toxic Crusaders figures, really stellar toy line. This guy does. Oh, what's his name? Oh, it's gonna bug me. But the Brick and Motor will tell you what his name is, because he's like, because a lot of these characters had like glow in the dark, one or two things, a little bit of glow in the dark, but he's like 3 glow in the dark weapons, glow in the dark mask, glow in the dark head, glow in the dark splatter, just glow in the dark galore, and it's awesome. Potato head, a giant 3D printed Lego skeleton by my brother-in-law Joseph. Then moving down, got the dedicated G.I. Joe shelf. I used to have a lot more G.I. Joes, but I decided to get rid of a lot of them. But I kept most of these ones because a lot of them were my brother's when he was a kid, and he gave them to me. Like the hammer was his, so I reacquired most of the stuff that he had when he was a kid. Like version 2, Storm Shadow was his, Crocmaster, and Hit and Run, and you know, and the Heliviper was the hardest one to complete, but he's fully complete even with the ripcord for the propeller. So that's really cool. I also really like this vehicle. I have the US and the Canadian version of this vehicle, and move Ghost Rider out of the way. I wanna do this one hand. I probably can't. I probably shouldn't, because I'll probably knock something over. But you'll have to take my word on it that inside this Barracuda is one of my, not favorites, but honorary mentions Joes. Version 2 Deep Six. I like him a lot. Coming down here, Starship Troopers, Playmobil, kind of another mismatch, but I'm kind of forming a Doctor Who nook over here. My mock Lego TARDIS, and just a few like Funko, and then the character options, and Garfield, Garbage Pail Kid cereal, and Mego Trek. One of my most prized figures right there is the Mego Romulan. All original him, except for his boots. But that's okay. That is A-okay. Come down here. I love these so much. The Imaginext skeleton pirates from back in the day. Back in, let's see here, 2003. Back in 2003, so I have a little, I'm always looking, whenever I go on toy hunts, I always try to find more of these skeletons, only if they glow in the dark. Well, I mean, I'll still get them if they don't glow in the dark, but they can't join the crew unless they glow in the dark. Which, like, the hand glows in the dark, the shark glows in the dark, that rhymes. And they're like sitting over the treasure chest, and you got little pieces of bullion. Old cell phone. Reach out and touch someone. This number probably doesn't exist anymore, or maybe it does. Don't call it. My Lego agent / alpha team villains diorama. Again, a childhood set, and actually that's a childhood set, and that's a childhood set. You saw in the video where I actually got that set right there. And inside here, Ogle's spear is also a childhood set. Just super cool. And cameoing a giant big bad Beetleborg. A big bad Beetleborg. One more pan up. Alright, and now we're done with all the shelving units. Now we're gonna do everything along this wall from what's on the other side of that door all the way here. So we'll just start, we'll go right to left. We have my entire vintage run of Goosebumps books, as well as a lot of the Give Yourself Goosebumps books. I think I'm missing a couple from that. I only collected up to a certain point, because I take it off the shelf, but it's all just kind of a chunk. So if you're interested, I'll do a video probably maybe in October about all the Goosebumps books or something. My 3 vintage carded stormtroopers from Star Wars, Empire, and Jedi. All of them with varying degrees. Like this one has the proof of purchase cut out. This one dented up there. This one has the whole top cut off. But they're carded. That's all I care about. Oh, and my autograph from William Daniels ACA kit. This is the seatbelt cover to my old Pontiac Sunfire. Because Kit was a Pontiac, so that's why I had him do that. My favorite minifigures of all time. You've seen him in a review. Well, but probably go into greater detail with these another time. Hot Wheels A-Team Premium. I met Ashley Ball once. Got her autograph. That was a lot of fun. The Lego E.T. And moving on, we have the stairs that has my minifigures on it. I built that back when I was like maybe 10 or something, and I also built this and this building at the same time. So those 3 things are my all-time oldest Lego structures. I really like deep sea diving everything. I mean, one of my favorite minifigures is the deep sea diver minifigure. I love him so much. Got some tapes, got some books of all varying degrees, as well as a few random items, like also 3D printed by my beautiful brother-in-law. Beautiful craftsman that he is. And there's a duck. Some more books. I think these they're like comics and various books, and I think these are all my Toy Fair magazines right here. Rest in peace, Toy Fair. Rest in peace. R2-D2. What is R2-D2? R2-D2 is a storage case, so I got a bunch of bits and bobs in there that I don't have room for right now, or I'm cycling out. One of my Lego towers that was sorted by color and minifigure. All the plushes, Plushville. Got the whole gang here if he wants to know. Teddy Ruxpin with some tapes. Waldo, I found him. Fred Flintstone, Pee-wee Herman, Tentacle Kitty, Stay Puffed, Kevin McAllister, and Ghost. More Legos. This is what I call my special bin, because it's full of like stickered or printed parts and all neon orange and green pieces and stuff. Another place where I keep loose Nintendo games. Essentially games that are like movie or TV show related. I keep them in here. My big old Lego tower featuring Pepsi. If y'all like, I can do a closer video on my tower, which I have named Will's Tower. And then I guess another tower would be, because I have a few bins in here, like other G.I. Joes are in here, other figures and pieces are in there. My Uzi that I got from that toy show, featuring NECA Ash. And then just like, I got Pogs in there, and cards, and Star Wars Attack Tower with Marvel stuff, Tactics, my Trapper Keepers full of other cards, and whoopsie, Garbage Pail Kids, stuff like that. Temporary place to kind of keep this Nintendo, and cups, Crystal Pepsi, vintage Crystal Pepsi hat, and my Virtual Boy. We don't want to get ahead of ourselves now. And then on the other side of this door, up against the wall, we have a few things. Hot Wheels carrying case, giant Kennedy, the Lego UFO helmet, a bigger version of the minifigure one, which I forget which set it came with, but just a really cool costume piece. Tri-Logo Stormtrooper card back, Last 17 Luke Stormtrooper, all original. The very rare and elusive Pez gun. Some blacklight reactive Garbage Pail Kids. Oh, the horror Dibble. I think Series 2 cards. I like the American Psycho one and the Night of the Common one. I think I like these two the most. And a unknown Jason X mask. I have not been able to figure out who or when this was made, but I have it. I certainly have it. Alright, moving on, I guess. Alright, now I'm going to show you the closet section, but first I gotta show you all the stuff I did to the outside doors real quick. Just labeled it with some posters and some old movie newspaper clippings and just bits and pieces. Like, this is super cool. This whole page print for Blockbuster Video I found one time. We're gonna rock down to that place pretty soon. Glow-in-the-dark Night Bright Coupe, Pepsi, foam football. Again, I have no idea who made it or when it was made, but I have it. Mac Tonight, Evil Dead, more McDonald's, glow-in-the-dark Pumas. No, glow-in-the-dark Reeboks. My mistake. One of my many ghost face masks, and Freddy glove, and a couple Kenner booklets. Then just a couple fun stickers and stuff, and another black light. Alright, now we can take a look inside. Mind the big Lincoln penny. So I guess we got some promotional shirts over here, like my Elvis Reese's shirt and various. What is that one? I think it's the Batman. You have to take my word on it, but that's the Batman Forever t-shirt. And like, where's my? Oh, there's Hollywood Video, a staff Hollywood Video shirt, an eBay shirt, Public Spider-Man, Public Menace, or Public Enemy, might mean. A couple masks, Xenomorph, Gorn, Arnold, Treasure Chest, Simon, resting on the loose 2000s figures. And that, if you heard that popping noise, that was my knee. I crouched down. I'm old. Just a bin full of Lego directions, disassembled Legos with a shrimp sticker. This bin, I'm not going to open this because whenever I open these up, all these Ghostbusters figures fall. But in here, it's like card backs and pieces of papers and my 3D glasses collection. I might do a separate video on that. And this bin is loose Hot Wheels, and some carded, but mainly loose Hot Wheels and other various like Johnny Lightning, Matchbox, and just other mainly movie cars, but just whatever I like, you know, I'll get the car form. Speaking of all those, you got the Johnny Lightning Ecto 1, Hot Wheels Ecto 1, and a Kenner Ecto 1 for you Ghostbuster fans. Got a lot of Ghostbuster stuff. Love the Kenner Ghostbusters line. Thank you. We got Sharp Hand Joe in the back there. Yeah, where did he come from? Where did he go? Another Kenner property, Beetlejuice, sitting on the Ecto 1, drinking some Phantom. It's not Fanta, it's Phantom. Lewis is being harassed by another one of those Frankenstein monsters. Again, I really like those. Moving along, we got my Mortal Kombat Hasbro figures, a lot of Mortal Kombat, Toy Island, Sector, my Kenner Bone Age T-Rex, really happy to have that, Pokemon, the Joker Copter. See, this is what I'm saying, because this is the Joker game. It's a plain purple shirt, nothing really special. Glow in the Dark Hot Wheels and Matchbox, more Bone Age. Some of my autographed Nintendo cartridges, Matthew Lillard, Shatner, Carl Weathers, and Sergeant Slaughter. I'll do a more in-depth video on all my autographs a little later on my complete Nightmare on Elm Street and Friday the 13th for Nintendo. Very happy to have those. You saw those in my Nintendo video. The Super Nintendo, all my Super Nintendo games. Some Mario figures. It's so bad. Some minifigures I want to keep separate from all the other ones. These are kind of the older ones of like Rock Raiders, Space, Alpha Team, Space Police Knights. And these ones are like Pirates, Explorers, and Ninja, and Deep Sea, and stuff like that. These ones are all like the licensed ones. You can see a couple in there, a couple to identify. All my spectacles. A few of my VHS tapes. I have a ton more, but these are just the ones that I like to watch a little more frequently than the others. Got all my figure accessories here. Weapons, accessories, body parts, Lego pieces, all my Star Wars minifigures, other figure accessories, micro vehicles, varying degrees, and minifigure parts and pieces and other special bits. Super Scope, And actually, I'll move the super scope. Because in here, we have the rest of my Ghostbuster figures. Big 80s figures. Medium 80s figures. And smaller 80s figures featuring. Look at all that muscle right there. That's a lot of muscle. And guts. And army ants. I do a pan around. And we'll be moving on. And then the second to last section, we'll focus on everything from this side all the way to here. So we got a lot of my on display carded Hot Wheels and other varying vehicles. Just picked this one up recently. This is a super cool design. Very, very 80s. Also love this DeLorean right here. One of my two all-time favorite Hot Wheels is all the varying, like, Bone Shaker. I really like the Bone Shaker as a Hot Wheels vehicle. And I try to collect as many versions of that I possibly can. Then we got some carded figures, varying sizes and degrees. Like Mario and Simpsons, and at least I only have one carded G.I. Joe, and that's frankly enough. Indiana Jones, Lost in Space. Got a lot of the Kenner Batman, NECA RoboCop versus Terminator figures. Another one of my Cylons, and kept carded. And just a few of them right there. One of my two Endo Glows for Terminator 2. You can take a look at this really quick. I mean, besides the black light, you got the Kenner Waterworld Trimaran, whatever this ship is called. Love Guru. Tell them what it's called. Pretty happy to have this vehicle. The other thing is, it's hard to really like keep it anywhere. So I just leave it on the floor and just kind of shift it around. Which I guess I could also mention my chair. This is my chair that I sit and ponder and look at all my things, my interesting items for hours on end. Hours and hours. The stool for reaching high places, which you'll see in a second here. And we got the door plastered with, we got posters and stickers and used French fry things and movie, I forget what those things are called for movie theaters, but like just the marquee things that they tell you what the movie is. The one reference to Erie, Indiana. Love that show. Excuse me, Trimaran. Then we have the man, the myth, the legend, my Nestle loving skeletal buddy. I actually don't have a name for him. Maybe I'll give him a name on Halloween time. A couple frisbees. Really awesome vintage glow-in-the-dark Batman frisbee. Various keychains accompanied by a Hot Wheels display top, which I believe is actually from, this series. This series of Hot Wheels is what this one came from. That's super cool. Then, I'm the champion as of right now. As of this video, I'm the champion. And then a couple bigger Ghostbusters items, my Vintage Kenner Proton Pack, as well as a little booklet, which is a very enthusiastic gentleman. You really do care, and they did. They sure did. One final pan around for that stuff as we move to the final place in our journey. Alright, we've reached the final leg of our journey. We've looked at the floor, we've looked at the walls, now we look at the ceiling. Popcorn. No butter though. Here's my Star Wars special edition trilogy display. Super cool. Doesn't get in the way as much as you think it does. But then lacing the top of my room, we got Rob laser tag helmet. Got my Crusaders helmet. NES, Konami laser scope. Mike Myers. Not that Mike Myers. That Mike Myers. Voice changer, Terminator Salvation, helmet, glow-in-the-dark ghost face mask, original from the 90s. Got a Lego Time Cruisers vehicle. And a good one. Got all sorts of fun stuff in there. I apologize for the bad angles. We got my Big Track, another unopened soda. This is one of two because I got two of the Pepsi hot cocoa hot chocolate. I got Technic Vader, Kenner Adapt, two of my Titans, John Matrix, and Dan Aykroyd's Crystal Pepsi. Tell them what Sly's name in Over the Top was. Okay, yeah, you tell them. You tell them. But yeah, two of my Titans. I'm hoping to get. I want to get the big Hulk Hogan figure so I can have him be the trio of these Titans up here. But I also got capital John Matrix and lowercase John Matrix, both with Uzis. Move chair. More Bone Age. Jurassic Park Barbasol. Oh, what was I gonna say? I don't know. X-Wing. My most popular video ever, according to all you viewers. That thing right there. Lego DeLorean. This is such a cool set. I'm really happy to have that one. A few box things. My Simpsons cereal. A few boxes for things like the Bone Age T-Rex and the Lego set down there, as well as that unopened Western set I got at one of the last toy shows. Just a few other Star Wars, like Imperial Attack Base, Droid Factory, stuff like that. I really like promotional pieces, so I'm really happy to have this this 90s Pepsi sign. They're like, you know, all-star tastes. And I think out of the three of them, I like 7-Up the most. But if they're there, I'll drink them, but I think I like 7-Up the most. Hey, comment down below, out of these three drinks, what would you drink if you had to drink? More Fright Nights. Orient Expedition. This was a childhood set that I reconstructed. This was not. This was. This was not. But I like this aerial. This aerial gentleman up here. Armada Unicron. Really happy to have him. Pain to transform, but that's okay. We got a little space battle going on here of Slave One, Future Enterprise, and the alien ship from Independence Day. Hey, here's another question besides the drink question. Out of these three ships, who do you think would win? My money, I think, would be on Future Enterprise because it's got the firepower. That one's speedy. This one's speedy, but that's got the firepower. I'll let you decide. You decide. And then, wrapping up this video, we have the garage, the vehicles. We got G.I. Joe. We got some Kenner RoboCop. The Tycho crash test dummies. This vehicle featured in my Star Patrol music video that I made a while ago. I love its design. It looks like something kind of Back to the Future-y, kind of Blade Runner-y. I have Super Trooper as the pilot in there because, you know, he's all chromed out, so why not? Lego Blacktron 2, unknown 90s motorcycle. This piece is very interesting right here. So back in the day, there was this place in Aberdeen called the Star Wars store, and I would frequent there a lot. That's actually where I got the Ghostbusters Firehouse, that bag of Doritos, and you know, a lot of my vintage stuff, just to name a few things. But those two come to mind first. And one day, I was there, and I saw this right here, and I knew what it was instantly because it's that right there. But I looked closer, and yank it, because I want to show it off. Okay. I'll put it back up once I cut. But it's this plaster casting of a scout trooper inside a mini rig, and it says on the back here, Zachariah, 1985. So it looks like someone made this as like a school project or something, and it wound up inside the shop there. And I was like, this is a one-of-a-kind item. I have to have this. So, Zachariah, back in 1985, you made this. I have this. Thank you. And that's all. Going along back on track here. I realize I still need to lace the other side, but you know, I got the Mystery Machine, Dick Tracy, another Kenner Batmobile. Inside this T2 car is my second Endo Glow Terminator. My loose one and my Carter one. Star Wars cloud car with pilot and nobody, because that's silly to have two pilots piloting the same ship that really can't do. Is there something in the lore as to why it needs two pilots? General Lee, not the best translation of a movie vehicle to a toy, but they got spirit. Last Action Hero and Dick Tracy. And now we got my Nego Batmobile being piloted by Arthur Fonzarelli and the Tin Man. Hey, it's a crossover. Talking Diamond Select kit. I'm gonna make him talk. Yeah. I'm gonna make him talk just for you guys. Just for y'all.
Michael, we're losing power.
Yeah, just for you guys. Okay, Hoff, you can go back up there. Got Kenner Hoff, Diamond Select kit. Kenner Chuck Norris and the Karate Commandos Karate Corvette. See that 10 times fast. Diamond Select Rail Ready DeLorean. Probably my favorite version of the DeLorean from the third movie. I like it a lot. Got like three Kenner vehicles here. We got the Ecto 1A, the much better translated vehicle to toy form is the Jungle Explorer from Jurassic Park. Superpowers, Kenner Superpowers Batmobile, a couple light cycles. We got an original Tommy one and the new one from Spin Masters. Well, I say new one, it's from like 2009. We got the speeder, Anakin speeder from Attack of the Clones. And then we got the rest of my mask vehicles here. And the last leg of the journey will bring us to the Playmobil kit. Some pretty recent acquisitions of the Orion submarine and the Hot Wheels Mach 5. The original DeLorean, well, I say from the original, I mean from the first movie, the DeLorean by Diamond Select, and a His Tank. And that concludes all the top racing vehicles that I have, which also, incidentally, as I pan over and pan around, I will say, I'm sorry this video is so long, but I have a lot of stuff to show. And again, if you're interested in anything I have here, please, say, hey, talk a little bit more about that. I want to know more. I would like to know more. Would you like to know more? Says the Starship Troopers. This video took over 2 days to make, just because there's so much ground to cover. And in fact, I even changed the shirt because you should do that. You should change your shirt. But again, like I said at the beginning, thank you so much for 100 subscribers. It is an honor and a blessing. But please keep viewing, please keep liking, please keep subscribing. And I would love to do another milestone video. So, yeah, that's about it. Thank you for watching this video, if you watched it all the way through. I know it's a long one, but I hope you found it interesting and informative. So, without further ado, thank you so much, and have a great day.